East Hampton Village Board, we are live.
Welcome, everybody. Today is April 25th, 2025. Welcome to East Hampton Village Board meeting. If I could ask everybody to stand for a pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If I could ask everybody to stay standing for a second, I'd like to have a moment of silence for Pope Francis and also for Helen Rattray, who was our local owner and editor of East Hampton Star. She obviously passed away, and she was a terrific woman and, like I said, longtime owner and editor of East Hampton Star. So if I could just have a moment of silence. Thank you very much. Everybody take a seat. Thank you. Just like to start off with one announcement. We completed the Hampton's Whodunit Film Authors Festival over 2 weekends ago right now. And it was a very well attended, probably 2,000 or 3,000 people attended. It was a terrific 4 days. And thanks to Trustee Doyle, who organizes that, and it was her idea to start this, and it's really been terrific. It's brought a lot of business to the village, to the business owners, to the historic inns, to the restaurants. It's really been wonderful, and I'm not sure where we're going to find more rooms next year because we pretty much filled up everything we had.
Yeah,
so,
hotels were sold out.
Yeah, everything was sold out. Everybody reports huge increases in business during those 4 days, so it's really paid off. And we have the film festival in the fall, and now we have this in the spring, and it's been so much fun. I have to say, my panel was the most crowded of the entire 4 daes, but
It also was the best.
I think that was just because of me, but not what I was talking about. All right, so let's have Hugh come up. Is Hugh here? Hugh will tell you. He was at you could tell him how good it was, Hugh. Live for me.
You signed the checks, Mayor Larson. First of all, before I start, I want to thank the Department of Public Works for hopping on the Panago Mill arm that broke. They were there right in the morning, and by noon, the whole thing was cleared up, put away, and yellow tape around it. And now we get to look at the other 3 stocks in the Panago Mill. So I hope the budget's not finalized yet. All right. Quiet observance on VE Day here in school churches. Little noise attends proclamation at 9 a.m. of surrender in Europe. VE Day in East Hampton followed strictly the proclamation issued last week by Mayor Judson L. Bannister. There has never been a quieter, more reverent celebration of an historic occasion here. The long-awaited news came to a people completely prepared for it. Everyone was smiling and relieved when the first short intimation of European surrender came on Monday. School children were gathered to hear the president's broadcast over the radio, then had regular classes until 11, when they attended a program in the auditorium. Gail Henderson gave the flag salute, the Star-Spangled Banner was sung, then Gail Henderson read a dedication paragraph to the effect that the World War is not yet over and we must concentrate on finishing the eastern half of it. But Viola Olson read the 4 Freedoms Pledges. Edith Blow read the peace aims of the San Francisco Conference as given by the late President Roosevelt. The assembly closed with the Lord's Prayer and taps played by Samuel Nasca. You know who his father was? Sam's Restaurant. School was dismissed at noon for the rest of the day. All stores and places of amusement here are closed for the afternoon and evening as requested by the mayor. Even the blowing of the fire siren, the church bells, and whistles to proclaim the news was not very noisy. East Hampton had no dancing in the streets. It seems strange to hear over the radio the wild rejoicing in great cities like New York and London. The highlight of the day was going to church by the whole community at 7:30 p.m. The 3 Protestant congregations met in the First Presbyterian Church for a joint service. The Catholic community here met at St. Philomena's for prayers and for the recitation of the Rosary. And then the people of the Jewish faith had to go to Sag Harbor, to Temple Addis Israel. There was no synagogue here in 1945. All right, so that's VE Day. Well, how did we get here? How did we get to VE Day? One way we got to it was the Belgian resistance. The Belgian resistance included men and women during the war. It was estimated that 5% of the national population was involved in some kind of resistance. Estimates put the number of members killed at 19,000, roughly 25% of its members. The resistance was particularly important in the liberation of Antwerp, assisting the British and Canadian forces in capturing the port before the Germans could sabotage it. And how did we get the Belgian resistance? We got because of the next person I'm going to talk about. John Lagrappe Dominicus is I was close, Dominique, okay. That's the village treasurer. His maternal grandfather was deeply involved in the resistance in Antwerp, Belgium during World War II. As an accountant with many Jewish clients in the Diamond District, he took significant risks to help those prosecuted by the Germans. He forged identity cards for Jewish children and smuggled them safely into Holland. Additionally, he rescued downed English pilots, hiding them in a chicken coop in his yard until they could travel safely. He also safeguarded diamonds for Jewish families who were at risk of being sent to concentration camps and then returning them to surviving family members after the war. His courageous efforts were recognized by the city of Antwerp. Do we have those pictures?
Yes, we do, and I'll cut to them right now.
Good work. This was
Trying.
the day that they celebrated in Antwerp, a VE Day, and they're honoring the people who are in the resistance. And Dominique's mother and grandfather are in this picture. Is there another one? Yeah, there they are, all the way on the right. Dominique's mother and her grandfather. So when you see the Belgian flag flying over Village Hall on May 8th, that's the reason.
Thank you, Hugh.
Thanks, Hugh.
Dominique, thank you as well. Thank you. All right, next up is our famous police chief. Oh, yeah, I always forget.
Good morning. Good
Could I
morning,
interrupt one
Village
second?
Board.
Could I interrupt you for one second?
Yes.
I always forget this. Could we do roll call, please?
Sure. Mayor Jerry Larson.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Chris Minardi has an excused absence. Trustee Sandra Melendez.
Here.
Trustee Carrie Doyle.
Here.
Trustee Sarah Amadon.
Here.
Administrator Marcos Balladrone. Here. Village Attorney Lisa Perillo.
Here.
Thanks, Chief. Sorry about that.
Good. I'd have an honor of being here this morning for kind of a long road to go for hiring. I have the pleasure and, of course, always the support of the Village Board for Public Safety in Marcos that we've been without about almost 2 years without a full complement of police officers, which, you know, there's a lot to do here. Those two made a difference. Our crew unit we have not had for 2 years because we need to, our primary role in any law enforcement is patrol. So with this hiring, and this summer, we should have a good complement of at least 4 officers back in our crew unit, which are specialized that handle any complaints, speeding. So with this hiring, it brings our department up to 27 and full strength. So it's been a long road to get here. I do have, I couldn't have done this without my XO. Jack Bartlemy has been integral in dealing with civil service, which can be very difficult. There are a lot of, it's not easy for the officers, any officer, whether it's East Hampton Village or Suffolk, to be sworn in as a full-time officer. It's about 1 out of every 10 that make it through all the testing from polygraph to physical to psychological. So it's a very few that can make it through, and that's what makes it hard, even harder for us to hire. So that's what's taken, and Jack and Sue Bird have dealt, and Dominique knows from the mailings, thousands of letters. We've had to go through the process to get it. So I'm extremely happy to be here today to hire 2. The first officer isn't here today. He's away on vacation, but Anthony Baiardi, I just want to give a little bio about him. He comes from the West. He attended Sachem High School. He went to Suffolk Community College and BOCES for criminal justice. He started as a New York City corrections officer in July of 2018 to 2021. He entered the NYPD Academy, graduating in January of 2022, and worked for the NYPD for 2 years. After that, he moved to the State University Police, SUNY, in March of 23, where he worked for 2 years on the Southampton College. So we're happy to have him. We'll give him his badge when he had already a planned vacation, but we're happy to take him. He's already an officer. Luckily, that's already been certified by DCJS, so we don't have to have the time and expense to send the officer 6 months to the academy. So it's really for the village residents and us, it's these officers do a short period of transition to learn our operating systems. They're already sworn, and they can go right on the road and fill the ranks and backfill us to the levels that we need. Today, I do have the other officer, Matt, if you want to come up. Matthew Lush, he was born and raised in Kings Park, and he attended Kings Park High School. He lives in Quogue. He graduated the Suffolk County Police Academy in March of 2024 with a class of 23-189. He's worked since that time as a part-timer for Southampton Town Police, and where his mom, Jeanette, and Ralph are in the audience. I thank them for allowing your son to come work for us. It is a pleasure to have Matthew come to our ranks. He is been highly recommended, spoken to my colleagues in Southampton Town. We were able to get him through the civil service process, and I am happy today to have him. He'll be starting May 1st for the East Hampton Village Police. So Matt, with that, I'd like to give you your badge. Your badge is going to be number 92. I was badge number 49. The mayor was 44. So it's been a long road. So we're up in the 90s. We're almost hitting 100. But today is your badge is number 492. Just pay the treasurer. We're doing 8 by 10, $15 if it's cash. How many?
Just introduce you
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You got anything else? All right, thanks, Chief. Congratulations. Next up is Jerry Terza and Chief Mott.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the board, members of the public. Our police department, our EMS department personnel, they always find it very hard to shine in the shadow of the East Hampton Fire Department. So when we were here last month for the police department's awards and today for the EMS, too soon? You're not? So the sibling rivalry aside, East Hampton Village has some of the finest responders across its emergency services that anyone could ever ask for. Men and women are truly dedicated to the craft and to the community. And it all starts with our support. We've heard it time and time again. It can't be understated. The Chief said it, just what's involved with hiring people. It's a process that the public sees us pull up in the shiny vehicles, the lights and the sirens to get out and take care of their problem, but they don't really know effectively what gets us there. It's the support of our elected officials, numerous staff members from across every village department, whether it's paying the bills, making sure that the vehicles are running, whatever it might be. there's a true commitment to it. And again, we've got the best police, fire, EMS. You could ask for our public safety dispatchers who are the best in the business. This all combines to a team effort. And today it's going to be about EMS. We're going to recognize 17 individuals from our Department of Emergency Medical Services, volunteer and paid, right? East Hampton was not the first department to go for a paid system. So we've got this great hybrid relationship, and the chief's got probably even more good news as we go through this. So we've got some of our people here today. We're going to look at a couple of different events that we've got. So last April, and basically a year ago tomorrow, we instituted a pilot program. We currently have a paid paramedic, an ALS provider who's able to provide advanced life support, whether it's specialized medicines, controlled substances, specialized techniques and training. They are our highest level of pre-hospital care. So we provide a paramedic 24/7, right, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 6 p. to 6 a, as well as a EMT provider. Again, 24-hour coverage. So last year we looked at the problem. We are the largest EMS agency in the region. We are very busy. We have a lot of calls. So we wanted to be able to provide the best level of care to the public. So we instituted a pilot program to have 2 paramedics on during our day shift, which is our busiest time. We don't have very many volunteer ALS providers, Chief Mott being one. We've got another one in the paramedic program right now. So this is a finite resource that has been proven to save lives, and we're going to see that in a minute. So on April 26th of 2024, the first day of the pilot program, our lead paramedic, Anthony Carlo, and one of our per diem paramedics, Dominic Guida, who cannot be here today, it was Dominic's first shift. They start at 6 a.m. At 7:06, they go out for a cardiac arrest. In the EMS world, that is the worst call to have. That is a team effort. That is game day. Our responders are out there. They're bringing everything to bear, their skills, their training, their technology, everything to bear against sometimes insurmountable odds. So on this particular instance, they go out at 7:06 a.m. They have an unconscious, not breathing individual who is down for an unknown specified period of time. Through the combined efforts of these 2 highly skilled professionals, they were able to deliver to the hospital, hand off to the doctors there, a subject who had a viable pulse. Although the subject, the victim, did not survive, they passed on several hours later. The skills of these 2 individuals, as part of a team, they were able to allow that individual's family more time. And if anybody's ever been in that situation, that time is critical, that time is crucial, that time is needed. So in recognition of outstanding performance of duty on April 26, 2024, I'd like to present this to paramedic Anthony Carlo. But he'll be recognized at a later date. So, sir? So we proved the first day. Well, actually, in addition to that, I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. That was at 7:06 a.m. Oh, no, don't go anywhere, Colin. So at 7:06 a.m. is when they went out with the first call. They came back, and a few hours later, they went out for a second call for an individual who had fallen. The 2 paramedics respond as part of the orientation process. Lead paramedic is with the newer paramedic. The individual was stable while they were transported to the hospital. During that transport, the subject's condition changed drastically and unexpectedly. The subject was going into respiratory and cardiac failure. The skills and the training employed by these 2 individuals successfully intervened. That's why you guys are getting it. For the 2 interventions, and they ended up becoming a successful outcome for the patient. So having 2 skilled professionals and working on a patient certainly made a difference in this case, and it was noticed by the hospital and commented on as well. So again, it was a double whammy for you guys. So thank you very much for that. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. There's gonna be pictures. Might as well stay up here. There's gonna be pictures. So, all right, Chief, you okay? Coffee, latte, all right, bagels. Show her to get bagels. All right. So. Again, this is a team business. So on June 15th, 2024, at 9 a.m., our emergency communications department received a call for 3 subjects drowning at Cedar Point Park. Again, this is a tremendous response from several different agencies, police, fire, EMS, ocean rescue. We're converging on a very distant remote location with faulty information at times. We had a child slip off the rocks at Cedar Point, go in the water. Child does not know how to swim. An adult that was with them jumps in the water to save them. The adult does not know how to swim. A second adult that was with them jumps in the water, does not know how to swim. So we've got 3 victims. We have spotty information in a remote location, multiple agencies responding in. This is a team effort of large proportions. The child is unaccounted for. One of the adults is able to get out of the water on their own. Second adult is pulled from the water by passerbys. Sag Harbor Village Harbor Masters Bory and Durier respond into the area. They take the subject who is underwater from a remote location on a beach. They transport them in to our waiting EMS crews. The subject is, they begin CPR on the boat. Subject is in very bad condition, unconscious, agonal breathing at best. Vital signs are not very good. Through the interventions, our crew that day, our paid crew that day was paramedic Steve Montalto. I don't know if Steve's here or not. Nope, one of the best providers I think I've ever worked with. His partner, Teresa Reynolds, again, a rock star, I believe is the term that I've been told and I've seen as well. Aided by Assistant Chief Mary Mott, who is an ALS provider herself, right? And Assistant Chief Mary Ellen McGuire. This was a large team effort. These 4 individuals were ended up carrying the ball over the goal line. They took a subject who was, let's say for all intents and purposes, dead, en route to the hospital through their interventions, use of technology. They were able to resuscitate this individual. He regained consciousness. He made a miraculous recovery and was released from the Stony Brook Trauma Center a few days later with no effects whatsoever. Again, it's a team effort, and for their actions on the 15th of June, we want to recognize paramedic Stephen Montalto. He'll be in later tonight. EMTCC Mary Mott. And EMT Teresa Reynolds. Right. At this point, Chief Mott, we're not done yet. We got a couple more.
Okay. So our first call that I'm going to describe.
Gary, can you put the mic a little closer?
Okay, so our first call we had on an evening, Thursday, November 7th, early evening. We had a woman arrive to our headquarters. She was in active labor. And when she arrived, the ambulance was, right driveway right next door. Everybody came over, patient assessment was completed, and at that time, everyone was kind of relaxed. First baby, no worries. Didn't seem like contractions were coming close together. Her water did break, but everybody was pretty calm about it. Crew was like, fine, we got this, okay. We get in the ambulance, and by the time the crew got to Hampton, just goes to show you, when the baby's ready, doesn't matter if everybody else thinks it's going to be a long wait. The woman's contractions became closer and closer together. The crew recognized the fact that they needed to pull over, that there was imminent delivery that was going to take place. They got all their gear on, they got everything ready. Delivered a nice little young girl, little baby girl. And as they, proceeded now to the hospital, mom was great, baby girl was fine. And it was an awesome crew. It was actually the crew that was there at that time. So we had our paramedic, Felicia Greenless. She actually was in her 8th month of pregnancy, and then 1 month later, she had her baby. So she was actually, part of that crew very well. We had a new EMT, Juliana Lester, and the timing, she just got done, she's in nursing school now, and the timing, she just had finished her OB rotation. And so there she was, it's like, oh, this is great, this is like real-time baby delivery. Everybody's kind of leaned on her, she did a great job, very proud of her, new EMT. We had also EMT Marcia Diaz, very calming personality, very, one of those people that you just want them to connect right to the patient. She has kind words, she's a very comforting person, very caring, and she was also part of the crew. We had Juliana's mom, Becky, driving, which actually, that was a key piece because, you just don't, you want to get to the hospital safely, you don't have to drive crazy, and, she's like an excellent driver. That was a great part of that crew. Scott Barter was also part of the crew. He was the document guy, he's the guy that did the PCR, got all the info in, baby girl, vitals, that whole thing. And so this crew did an amazing job. They got the mom to the hospital well, the baby did fine, a very healthy baby, and everything was great. And so I'd just like to recognize all the members of that crew because they did a very nice job. So, we have EMT Marcia Diaz.
Okay.
Yes. EMT Juliana Lester. EMT and also our driver, Becky Lester. EMT Scott Barter. Okay, that's for that call. All right, our next call. So on Monday evening, January 27th, approximately 8 p.m., Squad 6 was dispatched to the high school for a 16-year-old male in seizures. And while en route to the scene, the call was upgraded by dispatch to the fact that CPR instructions were now being given by personnel at the school. The young man went to the gym, he was playing soccer, he suddenly collapsed in front of his friends, and then 911 was called. The chain of survival, as taught by the American Heart Association, had begun. This chain of survival was picture perfect in this call, and the crew did an excellent job. So the quick actions, not only taken by the staff at the high school that were present on the scene, the coach that was there, but now what happened was they were able to recognize that this was a cardiac arrest. They started their CPR. They put on the AED. If you've taken a CPR class, you know that that first defibrillatory shock is so important. And so they gave that one shock at the scene, and everything that was needed for the beginning phases of that chain of survival were now put in place. And that was going to be great for the outcome. In 2 minutes now, the paramedic from our department arrives on scene. Okay, he did his patient assessment. We always work together with people on the scene. EMS doesn't show up and then kick everybody off. That was part of the call to begin with. He was working with the personnel at the high school very well. He, as I said, did his assessment, started his ALS interventions, and within 6 minutes later now, the ambulance crew arrives. So now, patient care management ongoing, ALS interventions. He was in cardiac arrest, so that means from an ALS perspective that, things have to happen. We have to manage the airway, do our breathing, get the correct medication on board with the correct cardiac arrest that we're now dealing with. Within 25 minutes of all those interventions, all those steps that everyone is trained so well in. This young man had ROSC, we call it, return of spontaneous circulation. And that return of circulation not only improved his blood pressure, okay, his pulse started to come up, and now, even though he was still being ventilated, we were breathing for him. It's just important to get that oxygen in, and the heart that was stressed to have that ease of breathing. He had that much needed oxygen. He had the rest of the interventions that were needed. And at arrival to the hospital now, he went from unresponsive, we call it, with no response when you speak to them, they don't speak back to you. But now he was able to be responsive to pain, which means that's like a great when we hear that, because it means that neurologically, the brain was still intact and it was getting ready and improving. So now, at arrival to the hospital, vital signs were in a good range. Neurologically, it seemed that things were doing well. And, that young man had the next level of care, which is part of the chain of survival. He went back to high school about a month later. He's doing well now. He had a congenital problem that has been fixed. And although that whole constellation of people that came together that knew all the steps in this chain of survival had such a positive impact on this young man's life. And so I would just like to recognize this awesome crew. And when you hear the names, I'll also give you a little bit about them as well. So one member of the crew was Darcy McFarland, a new EMT and a new member. So the second person, Nina Piazzantine, who was in the EMT class, soon to be a new EMT. She's just waiting to take her exam, but she's completed and passed the entire course. John Persan, a new member who's also on that squad. Mary Ellen McGuire, experienced and competent EMT, so that was always a good part of the equation. And our paramedic, Jonathan Millings, and then Kevin Gillian, also EMT. So it was like the perfect response with perfect conditions and a perfect outcome. It was just really a great thing. So I would like to call up now our paramedic Jonathan is, he's here? He is here. Our experienced EMT, Mary Ann McGuire, her second plaque today. John Persan, our new member that soon to become an EMT, we hope. Darcy McFarland, new EMT. Nina Piazzantine, soon to be a new EMT. And Kevin, who's not here, he actually joined the FBI, so, and that's it.
And if I could, real quick, the crew from the drowning, so everyone's aware, they're going to be recognized by the Suffolk County Regional EMS Council on May 10th in an awards ceremony in Sayville for their life-saving actions for that drowning call. So that's a very prestigious recognition, and it's certainly well-deserved by them.
All right. Yeah, you get it tight here.
Yeah.
You're on the Great. One more. Right. Thank you all so much. Before you all go, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm so proud of our team. our EMS team, our police team, but the EMS team, you guys have really stepped it up, and it's just amazing the work you guys do and the people you save, and we're only hearing a little portion of this. So I would just like everybody to stand and give them a round of applause. Thanks, everybody. All right, before we get, if you would like to leave, now's the time to leave.
Gary, could I say something?
I would love for you to say something,
All right. Before I leave,
but step up to the microphone.
yeah, I would. Yeah.
That'd be terrific.
John?
And make sure you introduce yourself.
I am Big Bad John Ryan. Usually I wear a lifeguard hat, and if I had my lifeguard hat, I would like to thank the village board for all the support they give us. You know, Drew is here, so, you know, we are very safe on the ocean. But I am very proud of my ambulance. I did 34 years as an ambulance member, all right?
That
And,
deserves a round of applause right there.
Wonderful. But 2 days ago, I got a call from Ann Welker. Now, Ann Welker is our county legislator in District 22. And she says, and she's a lifeguard. I trained her as a lifeguard, all right? She says, John, I want to give you an award. Each legislator is giving out a healthcare hero. I want you to be our healthcare hero for District 22. I said, wait a minute, wait. Hey, now you got this. You're going to give me an award? If it was lifeguard, yes, I would accept it. But let me give you a little information about our ambulance service, all right? My wife and I joined together, all right? I was a proud member of Company 2 in the fire department, which I left. But we joined, and we joined together. And together, we were ambulance members for 34 years. She was 35 years, okay? And so I can describe my service because every one of our ambulance members, in order to stay in good standing, must make a certain number of calls. And for 4 years, I did that. But my wife did better, okay? She was an officer. She was treasurer for a while, secretary, I think. No, treasurer. But she had double the calls. So I called Mary Martin. I said, hey, Mary, I just want to let them know that if you're going to give me an award, you got to give it to Pat and I, and they will do that. And God bless my wife, but she's home today. She suffers dementia, and she's not here to be and celebrate. That my granddaughter, Nina Piazantine, and some of the members, Scott Potter, I see them all. I don't know all of them, but I know a lot of them, all right? So I have one wish for the village board to do this, but my wife had 5,300 calls and I had 2,500, just to give you a true picture of. And so they are going to award Pat and I this healthcare hero, but there are some more heroes here that certainly deserve that. I will ask one thing. Because of the service my wife gave, they put a tree out there. There's only 2 out there at the ambulance put. One is for Dave Buckout, who was a legend in the ambulance, and the other is my wife. So when we pass, if the village board will allow it, please put my name on that plaque.
Thanks, John. Thank you very much. All right, that's going to be a tough act to follow. Does anybody have public comment? Nope. All right, so we're going to get into the public hearings and the resolution. So if you're not interested in staying, I'm not telling you can't stay, but I know a lot of people, they don't like to get up in the middle of the meeting. So if you'd like to leave, now is a great time. Thanks for coming, Adam. All right, so why don't we get into the public hearings?
Introductory number 4 of 2025, a proposed local law amending Village of East Hampton Code, Chapter 278, zoning, sections 278-7, fees, procedure and other submission requirements, changes to the notice, provision requiring applicants to provide notice.
Is there anyone who would like to be heard? All right, can I get a motion to close?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
The hearing is closed.
Introductory number 7 of 2025, a proposed local law amending Village of East Hampton Code, Chapter 62, Article 2, Alarm Systems, Section 62.3, Registration Required, B123.
Anyone like to be heard? All right, we're going to keep that hearing open for one more month.
Introductory number 9 of 2025, a proposed local law amending Village of East Hampton Code, Chapter 267, Article 5, Section 267-46, Vehicles, scofflaw.
All right, anyone like to be heard? All right, we're going to keep that hearing open for one more month.
Introductory number 10 of 2025, a proposed local law authorizing a property tax levy in excess of the limit established in General Municipal Law, Section 3C.
Anyone like to be heard? All right, can I get a motion to close?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That hearing is closed. We're going to go into resolutions.
Resolution number 104 of 2025, approve claim vouchers for the month of March.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 105, approve warrants as listed, number 36 guarantees, number 37 and 38 general fund, and number 39 general fund warrant.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 106, approve budget transfer, Schedule 5, Reference 5, dated April 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 107, approve minutes from the Board of Trustees meeting held on February 24th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 108, approve departmental reports.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 109, resolve the fiscal year 2025 village budget is hereby amended to increase appropriations from the assigned unappropriated fund balance in the amount of $69,094 for expenditures related to sidewalks.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 110, resolve the fiscal year 2025 village budget is hereby amended to increase appropriations from the assigned unappropriated fund balance in the amount of $58,015.56 for expenditures related to required maintenance at the Emergency Services Building.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Passed and carried.
Resolution number 111, accept the $2,000 donation of 50 black jackets with the approved village lifeguard emblem and color scheme for the full-time lifeguard staff from Spencer Snyder.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 112, approve request from Jewish Center of the Hamptons to waive the $10,000 renewal fee associated with their building permit covering construction related to the pavilion, and whereas the Village Board of Trustees is inclined to grant this request based upon the Jewish Center of the Hamptons' status as a not-for-profit religious institution, which is an integral part of the local community.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 113, deem surplus and approve the sale by public auction or brokerage, Unit 9114, Fire Department Dive Team Truck, 1991 Ford F-350 Crew Cab Utility Truck.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 114, deem surplus and approve the sale disposal of 4 impounded vehicles listed in Police Chief Jeff Erickson's March 31st, 2025 and April 8th, 2025 memos.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 115, approve the $5,000 invoice from Kimberly Woods for data entry and consulting.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 116, approve the $386,600 quote from Roof Services of New York to replace the existing roof at Main Beach Pavilion to be paid from the assigned unappropriated fund balance.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 117, approve the $295,000 quote from Roof Services of New York to replace the existing roofs at 13 Sea Spray Cottages to be paid from the assigned unappropriated fund balance.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 118, approve the $1,620 quote from In Time for the Police Department Timekeeping Module Annual Agreement effective retroactively to April 1st, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 119, approve the $1,419.42 quote from Lincoln IT for the building department computer equipment.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 120, approve the $1,400 quote from Lincoln IT for the Village Hall server decommission, shutdown, and removal.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Passed and carried.
Number 121, approve the $6,940 quote from Beecham Recreation for an ADA water fountain at Main Beach.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 122, approve the $4,243.25 quote from Waldner's Business Environments for office furniture at the building department.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 123, approve the $12,263.83 quote from Ben Kropinski Builders to paint the East Hampton Village flagpole.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 124, approve the $50,086.96 quote from Ben Kropinski Builder for two-door replacements at the Emergency Services Building at 1 Cedar Street.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 125, approve the $75 a day fee for daily impound storage, adding a $250 administrative impound fee, and the tow fee to remain at $300 for each vehicle impounded by the police department, effective retroactively to April 1st, 2025. This does not apply to Section 77.5, which will be revised to comport with this resolution.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 126, accept new fire department members Richard Sperber, Fire Police Company 6, and Daphne Barrios, Hook and Ladder Company number 1.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 127, accept the April 14th, 2025 East Hampton Village Department of Emergency Medical Service election results for a one-year term. Mary Mott, Chief; Mary Ellen McGuire, First Assistant Chief; Marcia Diaz, Second Assistant Chief; Alex Verdugo, Captain.
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 128, approve the 4% increase in Police Officer James Fusco's base salary as per the PBA contract for his bachelor's degree, effective May 1st, 2025.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 129, approve employment of Anthony Biardi as a full-time police officer at an annual starting salary of $63,264.98, effective May 1st, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 130, approve employment of Matthew Lush as a full-time police officer at an annual starting salary of $63,264.98, effective May 1st, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 131, approve employment of Douglas Pitches as a seasonal part-time laborer at $35 hourly, effective May 15th, 2025, until October 15th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 132, approve employment of Orion Giannis and Tommy Piacentine as 2025 beach staff to complete preseason work, effective retroactively to April 11th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 133, approve the resignation of part-time emergency medical tech paramedic EMTP Cassandra Arbia, effective April 25th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 134, approve employment of Christopher J. Van Houten as part-time emergency medical tech paramedic EMTP at the hourly rate of $40, effective April 25th, 2025, and authorize him to work the off-season in accordance to civil service regulations.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 135, approve employment of Kenny P. Cadet as part-time emergency medical technician basic EMTB at the hourly rate of $30, effective April 25th, 2025, and authorize him to work the off-season in accordance with civil service regulations.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 136, employ 2025 seasonal traffic control specialists and traffic control officers as listed, effective May 1st, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 137, employ 2025 seasonal beach staff, Olivia Poggi, Sahara Yanis, Cole Dunchik, and Nicholas Lerner as lifeguards at $20 an hour, effective May 15th, 2025. Heidi Jimenez and Dylan Paulson as beach staff at $16.50 an hour, effective June 15th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 138, approve employment of Kaylin Verity to the full-time position of office assistant, Village of East Hampton, from civil service list, effective May 1st, 2025, at an annual salary of $70,000.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Passed and carried.
Number 139, approve employment of Lila Minitry for the full-time position of office assistant, Village of East Hampton, from civil service list, effective May 1st, 2025, at an annual salary of $55,000.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 140, approve enrollment of Deputy Clerk Gabrielle McKay to attend the Village Clerk 2025 Conference in Latham, New York, on July 13th through the 17th, at a cost of approximately $1,096, plus the cost of reasonable meals and travel expenses.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 141, notice to bidders for the Salt Barn domed roof replacement project, with bid specs available on May 1st, 2025, and the bid opening to be held May 20th, 2025, at 2 p.m. at Village Hall.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 142, notice to bidders for the boiler replacement project, with bid specs available on May 8th, 2025, and the bid opening to be held May 27th, 2025, at 2 p.m. at Village Hall.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 143, notice of public hearing to be held on May 23rd, 2025, at 11 a.m. at the Emergency Services Building, 1 Cedar Street, East Hampton, for introductory number 8 of 2025, proposed local law providing for amendment of Chapter 256 of the Village of East Hampton Code to add Article 5, exemption of East Hampton Volunteer Ocean Rescue and Auxiliary Squad.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 144, notice of public hearing to be held on May 23rd, 2025, 11 a.m. at the Emergency Services Building, 1 Cedar Street, East Hampton, for introductory number 11 of 2025, a proposed local law amending Village of East Hampton Code, Chapter 196, Noise, Section 196.1, Prohibited Noises, Evidence of Violation, A10.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Number 145, notice of public hearing to be held on May 23rd, 2025, 11 a.m. at the Emergency Services Building, 1 Cedar Street, East Hampton, for introductory number 12 of 2025, a proposed local law amending Village of East Hampton Code, Chapter 267, Vehicles and Traffic, Article 1, General Regulations, Section 267.5, Beach Parking, C, Parking Permits, 5C.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 146, notice of public hearing to be held on May 23rd, 2025, at 11 a.m. at the Emergency Services Building, 1 Cedar Street, East Hampton, for introductory number 13 of 2025, a proposed local law amending Village of East Hampton Code, Chapter 77, Beaches, Section 7714, Locker Permits, Section 7714.2.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 147 of 2025, adopt a negative secret declaration with respect to introductory number 4 of 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 148, adopt local law of 2025 for introductory number 4 of 2025, a proposed local law amending Village of East Hampton Code, Chapter 278, zoning, Section 278.7, fees, procedure and other submission requirements, changes to the notice, provision requiring applicants to provide notice.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 150 of 2025, adopt a local law for introductory number 10 of 2025, a proposed local law authorizing a property tax levy in excess of the limit established in general municipal law, Section 3C.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 151, approve resignation of David Betrago as a part-time traffic control specialist effective retroactively to April 20th of 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Passed and carried. That concludes our, oh, there's one more? Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Resolution number 152 of 2025, accept fire department officers' election results for 2025 through 2026. Chief Engineer Dwayne Forrester, First Assistant Chief Engineer Christopher Hatch, Second Assistant Chief Engineer Stephen Terza, and company officers as listed effective May 1st, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried. I'd like to thank all of them for their hard work. It's certainly a lot of time and effort, and not being home goes into this, so I want to thank them, at no compensation, we might add. So I want to thank them all.
Resolution number 153, approve $25,697 quote from Howard Technology Solutions for Ricotta access control at the Emergency Services Building at 1 Cedar Street to be paid from the assigned undesignated fund balance.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried.
Resolution number 154, authorize the mayor to execute a separation agreement with the Building Department Principal Building Inspector Thomas Priato, retirement date effective May 30th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried. Thank you, Tom.
Resolution number 155, accept the donation of an AED to be placed in Herrick Park, donated by the Louis J. Akampora Memorial Foundation and Mr. and Mrs. John and Aaron Tintle, per Jerry Terza's memo dated April 24th, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passed and carried. Thank them for that donation. It's very thoughtful. Before we close this, I just wanted to say that our next meeting in May will not be the third Tuesday. It'll be the fourth Tuesday of May. What did I say? Tuesday. Tuesday? I don't know where that came from. Instead of our third Friday of May, it'll be the fourth Friday of May, which is May 23rd. So that'll be our next village board meeting. So I'd like to get a motion to close,
So
and then we're going to go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
Okay, meeting is closed. Thank you.